What is up, guys? It's Ted, and really quick note, if you have not already, go ahead and check out part 1 of this video. You're going to be a lot more in tune with what's going on. I split it into 2 parts because it was a pretty long video, and I really didn't want everyone to be sitting here for 14 minutes while I talked about random shit for that long, because I'd be just rambling at that point. So I split it up into 2 parts. In this part, I'm going to talk about Modern Warfare 3 versus Battlefield 3 as far as, the whole discussion goes on that situation. Everyone always tries to compare all these games to each other, and I think that's kind of pointless. So I'm going to hit a few of the key topics between the two and the key differences, and which type of gamers are going to want to buy each game. So let's go ahead and get started with Battlefield 3. People know this one as kind of the more realistic game, I think. I've played Battlefield 2, I've played Battlefield 3 Beta a lot. I got to rank 50-something on Battlefield 3 Beta. Well, I think it was just 50 was the rank that I got to. I think after rank 50 you could prestige or have the option of prestiging. I'm not really sure. Right when I got to rank 50 is when the beta closed. But I had like 2 days of gameplay on it by the time that it closed, and I had a very good feel for the game and for that one map that was on the beta, and really for how the game mechanics worked. I cannot talk about vehicles because there were no vehicles on the Xbox version. However, I did hear the computer version had Caspian Border as one of the maps for the beta, and they did have vehicles on that map. However, I've seen some videos on it, but I don't really know much about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. What I will talk about is the gun versus gun aspect. The thing that I love about Battlefield more than any game out there is how it's strictly gun versus gun, and it's the same for I wish I could remember the other game. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike has it's the same thing where it's just gun versus gun, and I love that so much in video games, and I wish they'd bring it to Call of Duty. Even when you go into game modes like Bare Bones, which is supposed to no kill streaks or whatever, it's still like I die to grenade launchers, I die to the knife. And when it was in Battlefield, no one used the knife in Battlefield 3 because it was very, very hard to use, and it was not a one-hit kill unless it was an assassination. And the grenades and the grenade launchers did not do very well, and the grenade launchers were very hard to get. So as far as Battlefield 3 goes, if you're looking for strictly gun versus gun, great gameplay flow, like the graphics were amazing, it flowed really well. But strictly gun versus gun, you're going to go for Battlefield every time. Call of Duty's got too many of the kill streaks, too many of the, I call them piss-off factors, because, honestly, and if you go to MW2 versus Battlefield 3, in MW2, I consider every other death of mine probably an annoyance death, like something that was a stupid death, like a knife or a grenade launcher or a predator missile, some sort of air support that I cannot control or I cannot handle. I felt like every time I was dying to a reason that was out of my control. Not because they were a better player, but because I was dying just because of what they were using or their tactics, things like that. Whereas in Battlefield, every time that I died, it was a pretty fair fight. There's dedicated servers, so there was no lag, like there's in a lot, very, very prominent in Modern Warfare 2 and in Black Ops, and every Call of Duty there's a lot of lag. Battlefield 3 there's no lag, so it's a pretty fair gunfight. If you see a guy and he sees you, the best man's going to win that gunfight every time. As far as there's very little bullet penetration in Battlefield, so if you've got cover, then you're going to be the better player. In MW2 and in Black Ops, the guns are really, really powerful, and you can shoot through surfaces pretty easily. So even if you have cover, the worst guy that doesn't aim for your face and he aims for your chest behind a wall, he can still get the shot off on you sometimes, and I really don't like that. I wish that if you had cover, they shouldn't be able to shoot through that stuff. Which most of the guns in Black Ops and in Modern Warfare 2 are 9mm guns, which would have very, very little bullet penetration in real life. But obviously in a video game they have quite a bit more than they should. But Battlefield is more of the real-life, realistic factors of the game. If you're behind cover, if you've got a gun, you're not going to die to someone that's got a grenade launcher or a knife, or that's behind cover too. The best player is going to win in every situation. The good tactics, campers don't do very well in Battlefield because it's such a slow-paced game to start with. If you camp, it's just going to be even slower paced. That's the next thing I can talk about, I guess, is the pace of the game. I know that Black Ops was known for being a very, very slow-paced Call of Duty, but even Black Ops compared to Modern Warfare 2 or Battlefield is very, very slow-paced. Battlefield, I could drop about 40-50 kills within, I'd say, a 20-minute game. Whereas if you go in Modern Warfare 2, in a 20-minute game, you could get well over 100 kills, no problem. Just because of the air support and how small the maps are compared to Battlefield. Battlefield is a very, very slow-paced, realistic game mode, or a video game. And that's kind of what I like about it. That's what makes it different than all the other, than like Call of Duty or any other video game. It's very realistic, however, it's very, very slow-paced. I'm not sure about the vehicle side of things. I really was never good with vehicles in BFBC2, and I did not use them at all in Battlefield 3, so I can't go over that aspect. But I do know that the vehicles in Black Ops and in Modern Warfare 2 were incredibly easy to use in comparison to Battlefield. Take a look at the chopper gunner in Black Ops. It's just one little chopper gun that circles the map in a perfect circle, has absolutely no recoil on the minigun, is like a 1 or 2 bullet kill. I mean, that's super, super easy to figure out, easy mode. It's just point and shoot. There's no skill to it at all. Whereas I know in BFBC2, you've actually got to fly your plane around, you've got to get the kills yourself, you've got to spot targets, and the maps are a lot harder to identify. And there's also no red triangles spotting out every single enemy for you. Like, Call of Duty makes things so easy for people to do well. I think that's one of their biggest downfalls. However, it also makes it good for the general audience. If you go in and you put a just a random person on Call of Duty that's used to how Modern Warfare 2 works and isn't very good at the game, if you put them in Battlefield, they're going to be very, very confused. They're not going to know why they're doing so bad. They're not going to know how to get kills. They're probably only going to drop like 2 or 3 kills in a game. They're going to be bored out of their ass because it's so slow paced, and they're just not going to do very well. So the casual gamer is not going to like Battlefield 3 for the most part. Now, if the casual gamer gets into Battlefield 3 and starts out that, then they might like it. But if it's someone that's coming from Call of Duty, I don't think they're going to like Battlefield 3. Now, for me, I consider myself a slightly above average player, just to say the least. And when I hopped into Battlefield, the first game, I went negative. The second game, I went negative. Third one on, I don't think I ever went negative after that. After I learned the map and learned the game mode on Battlefield 3, I never went negative after the second game, or the third game, I mean. So it's something that better players can catch on to, and better players will do really well at, and bad people will do really, really bad at. Whereas in Call of Duty, it seems like anyone can do all right at it. Such as in Modern Warfare 2, anyone can slap on a grenade launcher with one-man army danger close and probably hold a positive kill-death ratio because they're throwing explosive rounds that blow up anything within 10 meters of them. So things like that kind of separate the two games. You can make your choice whether you're going to buy one or the other. I'm personally going to buy both because I really enjoy both franchises, and I'm excited to have a little bit of variety in my life instead of just Call of Duty or just Battlefield. It's going to be nice to have both games at my disposal and be able to switch between one or the other depending on how bored I get of one of the game modes, or of one of the video games, I'm sorry. Also, Modern Warfare 3 is going to have a lot of the rewards, I guess you could say. Like, it's going to have a lot of replay value, it's going to have a lot of unlocks, it's going to have a great rank up system. There's a lot more to the game in Modern Warfare 3 that are going to be really, really cool. And I enjoy all that stuff, but Battlefield 3 is also going to have a big, expansive unlock system, they said. So we're going to see which one's better, if they even can be compared or not. So anyways, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think you're going to buy Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3, or you're going to buy both like me? Do you suggest one over the other, and why? So leave a comment below. I really am interested in hearing. I do read all my comments. I reply to quite a few of them, so do that, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.